you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
Ernie over and Shawn O'Braid back with you. Championship basketball this Saturday afternoon. The Lander Valley Tigers with, let's see, what is our record? 7-2, going against the 7-3 Worland Warriors. Lander won the championship on this side of the bracket from Powell, and Worland won the other side of the bracket up at Rocky Mountain. So the two winners of the bracket are meeting here in Powell this afternoon for the championship of the Bighorn Basin Classic Tournament for 2022. Shawn, we've seen a lot of good basketball this weekend.
We've seen so much good basketball, and they got that trophy down there on the scores table, and I got to hold it earlier. It's a heavy thing, I'll tell you that much, but it's got Worland's name on it the last 2 years, and the team before that was Lander. So both these teams vying for a chance to bring it back to their home and put their name back on that little gold piece outside of the basketball here. Let's see if I can get it on camera.
And the trophy is a basketball, a bronze basketball.
Yeah, and it's got Lander's name on it from 2017 to 2018, or maybe it was 2018 to 2019, but then Worland's been on it the last 2 years, winning this thing the last 2 times, and we're sitting next to Worland's radio guys here, and they're saying that this might be the last year that Worland has this good of a team, so they're going to leave it all out on the court, and they're going to hope that it's enough today.
Well, Lander has done a great job so far this season. You know, you mentioned earlier, Shawn, about the Tigers' performance over in Douglas. They lost their first game of the year to Powell in overtime, 67-61. Then they lost to Star Valley by a score of 51-39. Since then, there have been nothing but victories over Cheyenne South, 68-53. Over Burns, 78-36. Over Wheatland, 51-40. Over Douglas, 47-43. That was a thriller.
That was a great game.
Over Thermopolis, 52-43 in this tournament. Over Wyoming Indian in this tournament, 77-65. And they avenged that loss to Powell in the first game of the year by defeating the Panthers here to move into this championship game, 54-48.
Yeah, and everyone listening on 93.1 KFCW, we appreciate you doing that. You can also find us on WYO Today's YouTube page. I have a feeling this is a game you're going to want to watch and not listen to if you can. Lander has played some physical basketball all day long, all weekend long, all season long, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Physicality can lead to a lot of good looks. It can also lead to penalties. It can lead to a lot of different defensive looks by the opposing teams because they don't want to be caught underneath the basket and get charges. And if Lander plays anything like they played against Wyoming Indian or Powell, they'll be bringing home this trophy. But Worland is going to be a tough out. They have quite a bit of good shooters on their team, and I have a feeling they're going to try and get the ball started early from outside the arc and make sure that Lander knows to defend them at the three-point side.
You're listening to the Hampton Inn and Suites pregame show here from Powell High School, where we're about to bring you the championship game of the Bighorn Basin 2022 basketball tournament. Had a lot of teams here on both the boys and girls side. We've been bringing you the boys games, and tell you what, the action has been very exciting, and I guess we're going to have another one here tonight.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens, honestly, because we could have a huge game from Stauffenberg. We could have a huge game from Abe Lopez. We've seen some big points and defense out of Bartoni, who has not played on varsity very much this year, but he has made himself known on this team these last 3 or 4 games. We got to talk to him earlier. He's just really happy to be part of varsity again, and he's really proving why he belongs on this team. And then you go into the younger guys, Parker Sixby. We haven't seen a lot of Brooklyn John. Braden Lincoln has shown that he is really good defensively. And if the points don't come from these guys, it's the defense, it's the steals, it's the mind trickery that these players bring to the table that's allowed them to win so many games without just relying on Stauffenberg, Lopez, and the newly injured McClung, who we finally have realized. We talked to his mom a little earlier. She had some tears in her eye and almost made me cry, but he snapped his arm playing in practice against his teammates, and when he went down and went to the hospital, he did not tell them that he was going to come up here, and he surprised everyone, and it seems like his presence has really been felt.
Yeah, he's a team leader, and when he showed up, everyone was very excited and happy to see him because they didn't expect him to come, but his folks brought him up here, and we appreciate that, and it's really nice to see him on the bench, if not on the floor, because hopefully Coach Stu Mullins says he may be back by the end of the season, but no one's counting on that.
Yeah, I think it'd be better for him to heal his arm, and he's done enough for this team just being a leader. He can easily very well be looked at as an assistant coach for the rest of the season, and I think Coach Mullins would be fine with that. He doesn't have to suit up. He's got his arm in a brace, and he can just kind of sit there and coach. And, if maybe this is what brings him into coaching in the future. For all we know, he's going to end up being a great coach. He's a great shooter, so he can definitely teach some kids some shooting.
We'll be back in Powell with the championship game, Lander Valley versus Worland, after this.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Wyoglass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. Wyoglass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. Wyoglass is Lander.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
And our thanks to Admiral Beverage and Pepsi-Cola. For you folks on the radio, you didn't know that was a Pepsi ad, but it was. And, of course, you folks watching on WYO Today YouTube knew what the ad was. We're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of this championship game. Lander Valley and Worland, the Tigers coming in at 7-2 and the Warriors at 7-3. And Lander Valley has not had success against Worland here in the last couple of years, as the Warriors have had some pretty good teams.
Yes, they've had some great teams. They've had some great shooting, just outside shooting, free throw shooting, field goal percentage. It's all at the top of the list for their division, their class, and it hasn't really let off their last 2 years. They've done a lot to keep this team together and keep all of the key pieces in here and ready to play.
Yeah, the Tigers, of course, have been successful in tournaments this year. We don't know how this one's going to turn out, but, they pulled the big shocker against Douglas, which is turning out not to be a shocker at all.
Yeah, and I think that Douglas team came in a little bit overconfident. I think that the Powell team a little bit earlier really underestimated who was going to be the scoring threats. I think they thought that it was just going to be Stauffenberg and Lopez, and for the most part it was, but you had Bartoni, you had Lincoln, you had a bunch of Lander players coming around and just scoring where, they were double teaming Stauffenberg and Lopez, and Worland getting ready to go. They're going to be looking at this. Lander's going to basically be looking at the same color scheme for the last 2 games, as Powell has been bright orange and Worland is bright orange. And we have now got...
And the stadium here is bright orange.
Yeah. So with a minute left to go, I think it's time to get into our Sutherland starting lineup. And here is Ernie.
And for the Tigers, Coach Stu Mullins is going to go with the same 5. Parker Sixby, Braden Lincoln, Bennett Washburn, Brennan Stauffenberg, and Abe Lopez. And for Coach Aaron Abel's Worland Warriors, he's going to go with Tyson Swalstad, Owen Page, Court Gonzalez, Carter Clark, and Landon Gilmore. So those are the 10 starters for this game. We're looking forward to a good one, and I think it will be, Shawn.
I think it will be, too. We got 20 seconds leading into this game, and Coach Mullins giving his guys one last pep rally here, and I think that this team is fully prepared. It's filled with a lot of experienced players. Stauffenberg has become a great leader. Abe Lopez is one of those guys you can rely on anytime he's on the court. Even with foul trouble, he has no problem digging deep and diving into the paint to try and get a ball or try and get a layup. And he is so good with those quick little Euro steps to get around guys. So I fully expect them to keep doing that same thing. And as far as Worland goes, like I said, you got to watch that outside shooting. They're big. They have their bigs, but look at that point guard. He might be the smallest player we've seen on the court all day.
Yeah.
He's got to be dangerous if he's starting, I'll tell you that much. That is Tyshawn Swalstead. And, yeah, they're going to be looking to shoot the ball a lot more from outside the perimeter, and I feel like Lander is going to be looking a lot more to be inside the paint.
Big crowd here this afternoon from Worland, but I think Lander has an equal number of fans here today. The Tigers have really traveled well in this tournament.
Definitely.
Okay, now the Lander fans' turn to stand up and applaud. And as I mentioned earlier, it's Parker Sixby, Braden Lincoln, Bennett Washburn, Brennan Stauffenberg, and Abe Lopez. So those are the top 5 for the Lander Tigers. Lander's the home team, dressed in white with green letters and numbers. And as Shawn indicated, the Worland Warriors are the visiting team on the scoreboard. And they have bright orange jerseys with gray numbers trimmed in black. And we're ready to go. It'll be Stauffenberg going up against Landon Gilmore.
This is the same reffing crew from the Wyoming Indian game about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, here we go. Officials are walking to the center court. The center jump circle. There we go, and Lander gets the win of the ball. It's Abe Lopez underneath the Lincoln. Ball's knocked out of bounds underneath the basket by Worland. So Lander will control underneath their own basket. Play just underway, just started, no score yet. Sixby over to Stauffenberg for 3. Oh, he drilled it. Stauffenberg drilled it and drilled it. That's what I was trying to say.
Nailed together, gotcha.
Yeah, drill and nail. 3-0 Lander. Now for the Worland Warriors, Carter Clark has it on the near side. These numbers are kind of hard to see. 24, Court Gonzalez. They're gray numbers on that bright orange. It's kind of like putting black numbers on red. You just can't hardly see them very well. Carter Clark with the basketball. Moves it on the right side outside underneath the basket to Gonzalez in the far corner. There's a jump shot from 4 feet that's not good. Rebound fought for, shots up, off, not good. Stauffenberg with the rebound for Lander. Outlet down and is too long for Parker Sixby.
It got tipped right at the very end by a Worland player, so it's going to be out of bounds on Worland, and Lopez is going to pass it in underneath the basket.
That's why Sixby pulled up and didn't try to save the ball. Into Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg at the free throw line, tries to back his way in. Sixby for three.
Ooh.
No, in and out, not good. Very close. Worland comes back down. Swalstad has it on top of the arc. Goes on the far side to Carter Clark. Lays it up, and it's not good. Way high. Rebounded by the Tigers. Great pass down to Sixby. Sixby lays it up and in, and one.
Wow, what a pass to go all the way across the court, bounce it in between two Worland players, and have it perfectly land in front of Sixby, who is now limping a little. That is not good. Maybe he just kind of needs to, oh no, he's having trouble putting
foul on
his
Landon
knee.
Gilmore. He's at the free throw line right now. Sixby can make the old-fashioned three if he hits the free throw, and he does. Lander 6, Worland nothing.
Yeah, they're going to pull Sixby out.
Yeah,
He's
Sixby
limping.
is coming out of the game for Bartoni. So the Tigers out there have Lopez and Lincoln, Bartoni, Washburn, and Stauffenberg. Worland brings the ball finally in across the timeline. Long cross-court pass. It goes over to Swalstad. Swalstad in the corner, pops it on top of the key now to Gonzalez. There's a long three shot up off, not good. Rebounded by Swalstad for Worland. Underneath the lane, there's a shot up and in by Owen Page for the first Worland points. Lander 6, Worland 2. Caleb Bartoni bringing the ball down for the Tigers, off to Lopez, back to Bartoni on top of the key, looks to the right side to Washburn. Washburn, midway between the two lines, moves into the lane, whistle, and he is fouled on the way in.
It looked like an off-the-ball foul almost. No, it was 13, so.
Owen Page picks up the foul, not a shooting foul, so the Tigers take it out. Lopez into Washburn. Washburn on the right wing. Cross court it goes. Bartoni for three. Nailed it. Caleb Bartoni for three, and Lander's up 9-2. 5:48 to go here. First period of play. Worland with the basketball down court. It was Swalstad giving it off now to Gonzalez. Back over to Swalstad. On the near side now, Owen Page. Page to Swalstad. Back to Page. Around the horn it goes. On top of the key, Gilmore. Far side now in the paint. Bounce pass over for three. Didn't take it. Swalstad on the baseline now. There's a shot, and he stepped on the end line. That was Court Gonzalez that stepped on the end line there. And Lander will have the basketball. 5:18 to go. First period. Lander 9, Worland 2.
He stepped out of bounds because Bartoni had a really good presence underneath the basket on the baseline.
Bartoni over to Stauffenberg on the right wing. Now he throws over to Washburn, now to Bartoni. Bartoni on top of the key to Lincoln, over to Washburn, right-hand side. Top of the key to Lopez. Lopez now over to Bartoni on the near side
nice
corner,
pass.
Underneath the Washburn.
That's a good matchup.
Turns around, shoots and scores.
That was a great matchup. Washburn up against 13. He is a lot shorter than Washburn was.
Yeah, Washburn with his first points of the game, 11 to Lander, 2 to Worland. Here on the far side, Swalstad has the ball knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. Worland will have it under the Lander basket.
And Stauffenberg and Washburn both got a hand on that. I think if one of them had just decided to grab it themselves, it might have been a steal, but instead went off Bennett's hand and then went right off of Stauffenberg's hand.
Talon Whalen coming into the game for Braden Lincoln for Lander. He gets high fives all the way along on the bench. There's the inbounds pass, knocked away, but it's picked up by Worland's Gilmore. Gilmore, far side, Carter Clark, back to Gilmore, shots up, not good. Rebound by Bartoni, and we have a held ball. And it'll go to Worland on the alternating possession.
That possession error always makes me mad on plays like that because Bartoni quite obviously rebounded that, and it was just Worland's decision to put a hand on the ball, and all of a sudden it's Worland's ball when it was very obviously Bartoni's.
4:22 to go, first period of play. Coming out of the game is Swalstad. And let's see, there's the inbounds play. Goes to Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the corner. Now with the ball is Carter Clark. Clark in the corner. Cross-court pass goes over to Calabrero, who just came into the game. Underneath the basket, there's a shot up. Nice block by Stauffenberg. Nice block by Stauffenberg on the shot by Gilmore. Tigers come down the floor. Here's Bartoni. He's got a clear lane to the basket, and he scores the layup, and Worland calls timeout.
Boy, he faked out Landon Gilmore by a mile there. He went up in the air. And we will be right back, 13-2. Lander, 3:51 to go in the first.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
Lander Tiger basketball on KFCW 93.1, and you can watch the game on YO Today YouTube. So the Tigers are out by 11 early in the game, 13-2. Worland looking at a full court Lander press now, bringing the ball down court as Carter Clark goes over to Gonzalez, back to Clark. Clark, all alone under the basket, putting the shot up and getting the foul and one. Was Landon Gilmore. He got the basket.
Stauffenberg didn't have to bring his hand down like that. If he hadn't, it would have just been a 2-point play. Now it's a possible 3.
So Gilmore at the free throw line. His first 2 points of the game. It's 13-4. Officials bounce the ball down to Gilmore. He's, I think, the tallest player out there. Shots up and good. Nothing but net.
Stauffenberg's 6'3". He just doesn't look it when he's up against some of these other 6'3" guys. I think it's because it's hair.
Brody Thiel comes into the game now, and that replaces Gilmore for Worland. And there's, almost a steal, and Lander will have it underneath their own basket. And coming in is Whalen now for the Tigers.
No, Whalen was just, he wasn't off the ball.
Okay.
Waiting at half-court line, and now that they're looking at full-court press.
Better get it in. There's the tip. Worland takes the turnover, and then Stauffenberg tried to get it back, knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Worland's ball. Kind of a real, Worland's a little bit taller than Lander, and they were using that to their advantage on that inbounds play.
Yeah, Coach Mullen saw that full-court press coming and tried to push a couple Tigers down, but it wasn't enough to get that ball out early.
Worland has the ball on the north end of the court. Here is Gonzalez. Gonzalez on top of the key, goes around the horn to Brady Thiel, who just came into the game. Back on the near side to Owen Page. Page can't shoot, back to Thiel. Cross cart, it goes to Swalstad. On top of the key to Thiel. Back on the near side now. Baseline underneath. A shot is blocked by the Tigers. Rebounded by Stauffenberg, but the pass is tipped. Worland gets it right back. Swalstad is fouled on his way to the basket.
Yeah, that first one might have been a foul, but it was kind of the benefit of the doubt there. And then as soon as they got back onto the baseline, that one was definitely a foul, and it was on Lopez, I believe.
Yeah, Abe Lopez gets it going to the free throw line. Carter Clark.
Abe got into some foul trouble against Powell earlier, and he still came away with a pretty good score sheet.
2:49 to go, first period. Lander 13, Worland 5. Free throw is up and not good. Parker Sixby comes into the game for Bennett Washburn. And another free throw coming up here for Clark. Here's another tall dude for Worland. This one's good. So he gets 1 of 2, and it's 13-6. 7-point lead by Lander. Here's the inbounds pass to Whalen. Back over to Sixby. Down court to Lopez. 3-on-2 in the middle. Bartoni shot off the mark. He didn't really have his feet set. Now here's a 3-on-1 by Worland. Layup is up and good. And Lander calls timeout, and Coach Stu Mullins not very happy with that last series of plays.
If your vehicle needs Repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
Ernie over and Shawn O'Brate back with you in Powell. Shawn?
Yeah, I just think that the Lander team, they were up 11, 13-2 just about 2 minutes ago, and suddenly it's 13-8 just due to from some sloppy passing. The full court defense is really getting to them on this inbound game, and right now they really just need to kind of slow it back down, do what they were doing at the beginning, and not let this Worland defense get to them so early before they get to the half court.
It'll be Lopez to take the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket. There's the inbounds pass, and it comes down to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg 3-on-2, stops in the corner. Over now, Whalen for three. No, not good. Rebound goes to Worland. Coming away with the ball is Brian Caballero. Long pass down court, knocked out of bounds by Sixby.
And if I'm not mistaken, who you're talking about, Brian Caballero is the cousin of Tommy Olson, who plays for the Wyoming Cowgirls. She had a game-winning shot of her own the other day. That was a great shot against San Diego State.
Carter Clark hands off the basketball to Gonzalez, back to Clark. Clark on top of the arc, bounce pass over to the left-hand side. Now back on top to Clark. Bounce pass toward the lane. Here we go on the near side. There's a shot up for three and good by Gonzalez. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. Worland 13 and Lander 13 and Worland 11 in the corner. Parker Sixby has it. Dishes it off to Whalen. Whalen on top to Stauffenberg. Near side, Lopez for three. In and out, not good. Tip is up by Bartoni, not good. He gets the rebound, and we'll have a travel, not a jump ball.
And while that might be called a travel in most places, he didn't even have control of the ball. He was dribbling around while he was laying down. If anything, that should have been just a timeout on his part and try and get the ball back. But
Worland has the opportunity here to tie the game or take the lead with a tray. On the other side of the court with the basketball is Abe Lopez. No, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong side. There's a three. It goes up by Brian Caballero, and Worland has the lead. No, Lander still has the lead. No. There's a shot up off, not good, by Bartoni all the way down court. Worland can score fast. There's Clark. No, not good. Rebound is up. No, not good. Tigers get the rebound. Long pass down court. With it is Bartoni. Hands it off to Stauffenberg for three. No, not good. Hit the front of the rim. Worland gets the rebound with 45 seconds to go. And Worland leading in this game 14-13. 38 seconds to go. Let's see if they try the last shot. Court Gonzalez has the basketball. Throws it around the court. Now comes back out on top again. Gonzalez has it on the near side. Underneath the basket, there's a shot. Underneath, out of bounds, and it will stay with Worland.
Worland has erased an 11-point deficit. Now they're up by 1 with 22 seconds left. And they're going to bring out two of Lander's best players, Abe and Brennan Stauffenberg. And they're going to give them some rest to get into the second quarter, but they need to do something momentum-wise. It is all Worland right now.
Chase Harris comes into the game, and now he is the tallest player out there on the floor. There's the inbounds pass, goes over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez works his way across the circle to Clark, back to Gonzalez. 12 seconds to go. Now Clark, Gonzalez, far side it goes to Thiel. Thiel can't shoot. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Gonzalez shoots for three. Not good. And that's the period. Worland 14 and Lander 13.
County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
Jay Collins here, and I want to wish all the Fremont County athletes good luck this year. Stop down at Fremont Chevy to talk sports and let me help you purchase your next vehicle. Jay Collins, your local sales professional at Fremont Chevy Buick GMC, 307-349-7846.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
Lander trails by 1, 14-13, and Lander will have the ball to start the second 8 minutes of play. There's Worland on the right side to Washburn. Washburn moves it in, almost had a free lane there, pops it on top of the key. Now we have Lincoln with the ball underneath to Worland, and a foul on the floor against Worland.
I believe that's going to be on number 4. He had a little reach in there.
Yep, and that's Mason Decker. Tigers have it out. 6B, long inbounds pass, very high to Stauffenberg. Brennan tries to back his way in, lost the basketball. Whistle, no whistle, no foul. And Worland gets it right back, leading by 1. Down court, Carter Clark with the ball. On top of the key, goes on the near side to Swalstead. Swalstead on the near side, Gonzalez. Underneath to the big guy, Harris. And the ball's taken away by the Tigers. Lincoln down court to Worland. Worland with it on the right side, outside. Looking for someone, a little bit of help here. And he goes in the corner to the Tigers, Bennett Washburn. Washburn in the lane, puts up the shot, rolls off, not good. Almost had 2 there by Washburn. Just didn't work. 14-13, Worland with the lead. And down come the Warriors. Here's Gonzalez with it. On top it goes to Swalstead. Swalstead, bounce pass. Now stop over on the near side. Clark for 3. No, not good. Rebounded underneath the basket by Worland. Shots up. No, not good. Fight for the rebound. Goes to Worland. Shots up and good. Finally.
When you get 4 opportunities under the basket.
And there's almost a bad pass for Lander. Here's Washburn over to Lincoln. Lincoln has it knocked away, and it's Worland's basketball down court. Here's Swalstead. Swalstead on the near side to Gonzalez. Gonzalez doesn't throw the ball away, passes it on top of the key to Clark. Clark with the ball on top of the key, bounce pass over to Swalstead. Swalstead bounce over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez underneath the basket. Oh, an easy 2.
It's too
Worland
easy.
worked that one to perfection. Chase Harris gets the basketball and the basket.
They worked it to perfection. They got the right guy on the wrong guy. Oh my goodness!
And there's another bad pass by the Tigers. So we've had like 3 turnovers here in just the last minute or so. Swalstead with the ball on top of the key. Carter Clark has it now back to Shawn Swalstead. On the far side outside, Gonzalez controlling the ball. Throws it behind him on the other side. Underneath it goes to Decker. Decker underneath. There's a ball out of bounds. No. Picked off by Stauffenberg. Brennan comes all the way down. Gives it off to Washburn. Short shooter is not good. Oh, it just missed. Worland all the way down. Swalstead lays it up and in. Tyson Swalstead with his 4th point of the game, and it's a 20-13 lead. Lander had an 11-point lead at one point. There's a long pass down court, and it's stolen away. Another turnover by the Tigers under the basket. Decker turns around. There's a shot up, off, not good. Rebounded by Worland for Lander. Worland comes down, almost lost a handle on it, takes it all the way in. No! He could have passed that off to Parker Sixby for 2, but took it all in and missed the shot. Here's Carter Clark as the Tigers have gone stone cold. They have not scored in this period yet. Underneath the basket in the lane, there's a shot up by Harrison. Good.
Yeah, Stu Mullins has got to stop the bleeding here. He's throwing his pen, he's throwing his clipboard, and it's just nothing's falling for Lander right now. 22-13 Worland. We got 4 minutes and change to go in the second quarter.
Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at Du Bois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time.
Bartoni to take it out for the Tigers. They have committed like 4 turnovers in a row, and it's 22-13 Worland.
It's a lot of sloppy passing, that's why.
Well, they need to have crisp passing. Here's Bartoni over to Lopez in the corner. Back over to Lopez for 3. No, too long. Rebound by the taller team from Worland. They come away with it. It's Carter Clark. Clark all the way down on top of the arc. Looks to the right-hand side now and goes over to Gonzalez. Back to Clark. Around the key to Swalstead. Swalstead back over to Gonzalez on the far side outside. On top, Swalstead. They're trying to work it inside again. Swalstead fakes the pass. Now he throws it over to Gonzalez, and they reset the play. 3:28 to go. 22-13 Worland over the Lander Tigers. On the near side, Clark goes into Swalstead, can't penetrate, back to Clark. Clark moves across the top of the key over to Gonzalez, back to Clark again. They're just playing catch. Here's Swalstead in the middle, underneath. There's a shot up off the glass and in by Owen Page. That's his 4th point of the game, and it's an 11-point lead the other way now. 24-13. Here comes Lopez down court, gives it over underneath the basket. There's Stauffenberg for 3, in and out. Not good. Boy, the Tigers could have used that one. Down court, it's a 2-on-4. Shots up, no, and a foul on Lander.
Lander has got to stop with these long cross-court passes because 90% of them are getting picked off, or they're just being seen and read way too easily by Worland. They're not really having the effect that I think Lander is hoping them to have.
Owen Page at the free throw line looking for his 5th point of the game and does not get it. Goes off the left side. 2:45 to go until halftime, 24-13, Worland with the lead.
This is where you miss McClung a lot.
Shots up this time and he gets it. So he's got 1 of 2 and it's 25-13, 12-point lead, largest by either team. Here now is Bartoni in the corner, Washburn. Washburn has the ball knocked away. Another lazy pass that's intercepted by the Worland Warriors. Tigers are having major ball control issues here. First part of this game. Gonzalez on top of the key. Comes over to Swalstead. Swalstead goes to his right. Gives it off underneath to Clark. Clark 10 feet away underneath the basket. An easy 2 points. Scoring it is Landon Gilmore. And it's 27-13. The Lander Tigers have not scored in this quarter. Underneath the basket, here's Lincoln, and the ball is knocked away and out of bounds off of Lander.
That is exactly what you want to do when a ball is going out of bounds. You try and grab it, turn around, and throw it directly at your opponent, and that is exactly how it's executed right there.
Lander's gone 6 minutes without scoring in this period. It's 27-13. Worland with the big lead. On the far side, it's Clark. Gives it to Swalstead. On the far side, Gonzalez. Back to Swalstead. top of the arc. They're just going to hold the ball till Lander comes up and challenges them. 6B comes up, over to Clark now, back over to Gonzalez. He's just holding the ball. Now he moves. Bounce pass comes over to Clark. Clark, long pass in the corner, comes back out on top now. Swalstead has it in the middle of the lane. Underneath the basket is Clark. Clark doesn't shoot. They're running clock here, it looks like. Underneath, Swalstead has the ball knocked away. Shots up and good by Court Gonzalez. It's 29-13, a minute to go. Lander hasn't scored in this period. There's another almost bad pass, and there is a pass over to Stauffenberg. He shoots up, fouled, and will go to the free throw line.
And we almost, I'm not going to try and jinx Brennan here, but we might see a scoreless quarter by Lander, which I don't think we've seen all year. I don't think I've seen in a high school game other than the St. Stephen's girls.
Stauffenberg at the free throw line for Lander. Shots up, good. Well, we won't see a scoreless quarter. Lander has 1 point in this quarter, and the Worland Warriors have 15, outscored Lander 15-1 so far.
There's something to be said about that size. They're able to get underneath the basket and do whatever they want.
Here's the next shot by Stauffenberg. It's not good. And the rebound goes to Brian Caballero. Under a minute to go now, first half. Lander trails 29-14.
They're not going to do anything until you make them.
Well, I tell you what, you can see why Worland's had as much success as they have over the past couple of years. They know how to play the game. Here we go. Down court, Clark has it with 32 seconds to go, almost taken away to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is hounded by Lopez. Gonzalez finds a lane. He goes underneath the basket. Shot is up, off, not good. Rebounded by the Tigers, Stauffenberg. Outlet pass down to Parker 6B. Now on top over to Lopez. Lopez drives in the lane and draws the foul. 12 seconds to go. 29-14.
I'll tell you what, I would not want to be in the Lander locker room at halftime right now.
Not a free throw opportunity, so 12 seconds to go. Lopez brings it in to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg from 15 is good. So Stauffenberg gets the basket. The first of the quarter for Lander, 3 seconds to go. Here's Clark, fires up a shot, and he's fouled by Lopez just before the buzzer.
That might be 3 free throws. I think it is going to be 3 free throws. And Lopez, a silly foul to end the quarter. You could have tried to let him shoot that.
Well, the officials are debating whether it was a 3 or not.
I think either way he's going to get free throws, but just a silly, silly foul. I know they're trying to play tough defense.
Yeah, he's going to get 3 free throws. Well,
there's not really a need to look for the rebound on these.
And going to the free throw line is Carter Clark. He's 1 for 2 in the game. He'll get 3 free throws. Clark at the line. Misses. He'll get 2 more.
Boy, this is not how anyone saw the Lander game going.
He got the second free throw.
I think even the Worland fans here were expecting more of a fight there in the second quarter.
30-16 now. 1 more free throw coming for Carter Clark with a half a second left on the scoreboard, and that one falls off. Not good. Stauffenberg heaves it down court. That's the end of the first half of play, and after 2 periods of play, it is Worland 30 and Lander 16.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit LanderGambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey. From the field to the court to the pool and beyond, Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
And we're back with our CWC halftime show. Our halftime show is brought to you by Central Wyoming College. For information on their wide range of courses and programs, including their 4-year bachelor's degree programs, visit cwc.edu, and you can get your degree from home. Central Wyoming College, make your way out here. And Ernie, that might have been the worst half of basketball we've seen out of Lander or almost any team we've covered all year, and we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have. Just almost ended the quarter without any points at all, as the Tigers just need to be more crisp with their shooting. I mean, these lazy passes are being intercepted by this taller Worland team every time Lander comes down the court, almost.
Yeah, well, and half the time they're not even able to get the pass out across half court because they're chucking it from the inbound line about 30 yards down, and they're trying to get these open looks. They're trying to get one-on-one opportunities because they know when all 5 players finish down at their side of the court, they're having to go up against a taller Worland team, and they look like a stronger Worland team. But no matter what, it is just not falling. They've had a couple good looks on layups. They've had a couple good looks on threes. Nothing's falling for them, and they started so well, up 13-2, and now it's 16-30. Just a 28-point turnaround, kind of crazy.
Yeah, it really is, and you can see why Worland has won a state championship and has won this Bighorn Basin tournament the last 2 years. We'll be back with more right after we listen to this.
App, now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, you're to pedestrians. Wear light clothing. Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone.
Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming Indian Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stand.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you. High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Welcome back to the Central Wyoming College halftime show. Lander currently down 14 points at half to Worland. Both teams winning their respective brackets. Lander winning the games in Powell, Worland winning the games in Rocky Mountain. And it is obvious right now that Worland has had the better day. We thought maybe they might have some sort of fatigue from a bus ride and multiple games. And right now they're not showing it at all. And we will go through some stats here. Not a lot to talk about as far as Lander goes. That first quarter they scored 13 points off of 2 threes, one by Caleb Bartoni, one by Stauffenberg. And ever since then, it has been only Stauffenberg scoring 3 points, all 3 points for Lander in the second quarter. So Stauffenberg has 6 currently. Bennett Washburn has 2. He needs to get more involved under the basket. He has missed 2 easy layups. And those 2 layups obviously would have brought it up to a 10-point deficit. But Bennett Washburn right now really needs to get his head in the game under the basket because he is the tallest player outside of Stauffenberg. And I think that Bennett Washburn is going to have to find a way to just do better underneath the basket. Parker Sixby has 3, and Caleb Bartoni has 5. Over to Worland's side. Worland's Tyshawn Swalstead has 4 points. Owen Page has 5. Brian Caballero has 3 off of 1 tray. Court Gonzalez has 7, 3 of them off of a tray. Carter Clark has all of his points from the free throw line. He's got 2. Landon Gilmore has 5. Chase Harris has 4. And you add all that up, that's a 30-point scoring half for Worland as Lander comes out to try and get their shots up here. I don't know how much I'd be practicing threes. I'd be practicing some 2-pointers right now if I were them.
And some passing. Those passes need to be short and crisp, and they've been kind of like floating ducks, and Worland's been intercepting them. So the Tigers need to change that.
Well, it looks like they're playing football. Brendan Stauffenberg's a great quarterback, but he has no need to throw a 20-yard pass to an open Bartoni when there's 3 Worland players in between that are all taller than Bartoni.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Worland height has been being a big factor in this game, and their rebounding underneath the basket has just been, they've been pulling down all these rebounds in the paint.
And they're finding ways to get the best matchups. They're putting people like Sixby on their point guard, and they're ending up passing themselves open, and then Sixby's playing up against a 6'4", 6'5" guy under the basket. They're going to get those baskets every single time. Lander needs to either find a way to play man a little better or fix their zone defense so that there's not a wide open gaping hole in the middle of the paint. Either way, Lander's defense has to step up before their offense does. Otherwise, they're just going to be playing catch-up the whole game.
Yeah, and 14 points is doable. You can come back from that. I believe the Tigers were down by that much in Douglas, and they did come back by the end of the game.
And the Chiefs earlier, the game before this, they were down by almost 20 points, and they ended up coming back, leading by 1, eventually losing. But still, I mean, it's not crazy to think that it can happen. They need to force Worland into some mistakes. They need to play better passing basketball, and they need to figure out a way to get this defense the way it was against taller teams. Even though they lost to Star Valley, they played Star Valley a lot better than they're playing this tall team right now.
That wraps up our halftime show, brought to you by Central Wyoming College. For information on their wide range of courses and programs, including their 4-year bachelor degree programs, which allows you to stay at home and get your BAS, visit cwc.edu.
As part of the CWC board, I thought you'd get that a little bit better.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. This is fighting off a cold here, so I beg your pardon for occasional sniffles here on the radio.
That, and we've called 8 games over the last 24 hours, so it's a little bit difficult to ask as much.
It's like the old times of the state and regional basketball tournaments.
There you go.
Worland has it. Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez gives it off to Swalstead. Swalstead will bring it down, going from right to left. In the middle it goes. The big guy, Owen Page, fires it near side to Clark. Clark drives the baseline, puts up the shot, not good. He gets his own rebound and scores. No, that was 13. That was Owen Page that got the rebound. And it's 32-16. Worland putting on half-court pressure. Lopez brings the ball down for the Tigers. Off it goes to Lincoln. Lincoln in the lane is fouled as he goes up for the shot. He'll have 2 free throws.
They'll take that every day. It stops the clock, and it gets Lincoln some free throws. But, you know, one thing that we were just talking about, their passing, this full-court press that Worland's been giving them, they've only had 1 or 2 guys ready to catch the ball, and that is not the case there. They had all 4 guys inside the half-court line awaiting a pass in case Worland's full-court press was just as bad.
Braden Lincoln makes the first of his 2 free throws. 7.5 minutes to go, period 3. Just underway, the second half. Second shot is up, off, not good. Rebound battle is won by Gonzalez for Worland. He brings it down slowly, walks across the timeline on the right side. Bounce pass over to Swalstad. Bounce pass now over on the other side to the big guy Clark. Underneath it goes. There's a free lane to the basket for 2 points by Swalstad.
Look at this full court pressure. They need to find someone to get the ball to and be reliable.
Parker Sixby brings it down now into the forecourt for the Tigers to set the play. Bounces over to Bartoni, now to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg whistle, and we have a foul on Worland. I think that's going to go against Swalstad. That'll be his second personal foul, not a shooting foul.
Yeah, that was on number 10. That was Swalstad.
Yeah, Swalstad. Stauffenberg to take it out for the Tigers. Inbounds it to Parker Sixby. Parker in the forecourt. Goes into the corner. Almost got away. Lopez has it now. Lopez over to Sixby. Sixby to Bartoni. Top of the key. Stauffenberg. Back over to Lopez. Lopez will drive the lane. Puts up the shot and scores.
What a shot, too. He knocked 2 different Worland players down on the way there.
Well, the Tigers have already equaled what they scored in the last quarter, 3. It's 34-19. Worland will bring the ball down with Carter Clark. Clark over to Tyson Swalstad. Near side, Gonzalez back to Clark. Clark drives the baseline, blocked out there by Lopez. Fires it on top of the key to Page. Page back on the near side. Clark on top of the key. Gonzalez back to Clark outside the arc. Underneath it goes back to Clark. He wanted the 3. Drives the baseline. There's under the basket. Shots up, not good. Rebound, not good. Lander rebounds. Bartoni finally gets the rebound. And long pass down court to Parker Sixby for 2.
And that might be the first long pass that's worked out for him.
34-21. Tigers have narrowed it down to 13 now. Gonzalez pats the top of his head. He's on the left wing. Gives it off on the far side now and around the horn to Clark. Clark, cross corner, goes over to Owen Page. Page off the glass and none, and they're going to call a foul on the Tigers.
Yeah, Lincoln got his hand just a little bit too inside of the arms of the Worland player there.
First foul on Braden Lincoln, and unfortunately it was on a shot. So Clark goes to the free throw. No, that's not Clark. That's Owen Page. Shot's not good. He is 1 for 3 now in the game. 5:15 to go, third period. Worland 34, Lander 21. Next shot is up, and he gets this one. So he gets 1 of 2. It's 35-21, 14-point lead. Here's Sixby again over to Bartoni. Bartoni, Stauffenberg, Lincoln. Lincoln throws up a shot and draws the foul.
He'll take that all day.
Personal foul goes against Gilmore, his second.
If the goal is to start getting Worland in some foul trouble, they're definitely doing an excellent job. They've already gotten 3 fouls on 3 different Worland players within the first 2 minutes. 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
Braden Lincoln at the free throw line for the Tigers is 1 for 2. 5 minutes left, third period of play. Shot's good. He'll get another.
You got 3 and 21 coming in for Worland for Swalstead and 33. So that's Landon Gilmore and Swalstead coming out.
Braden Lincoln at the line. 5 minutes to go, third period. Next shot is up, and it rolls off the right side. Not good. Rebound by Worland, and the Warriors come down. There's Clark with the ball. Clark on the right wing, passes on the near side to Gonzalez. Gonzalez over on the far side to Clark. Clark fakes a move to the baseline, fires it on the near side to Cabarello. Underneath the basket, shots up and good. Garbage shot by Owen Page, left alone under the basket. 15-point margin now by the Worland Warriors. Stauffenberg comes down and loses the basketball. Another turnover for Lander. It's picked up, though, by Sixby. Sixby down under to Stauffenberg.
Oh, and they're going to
and we have a player control foul on Sixby. And that negates the basket.
He didn't seem to run into him that hard. Either some good acting there, or really Sixby's got some strength that we don't actually know about, maybe. And here comes Worland coming across the timeline. Going up against Abe Lopez.
Clark over to Gonzalez. Underneath, all alone, shots up and good. And that was...
And then Bartoni turns the ball over by stepping over the line. Nothing is going well for Lander right now.
Lander can't buy a basket here. 22 for the Tigers, 39 for Worland. Worland, the two-time champion of the Bighorn Basin tournament. If Lander doesn't get their act together, they'll be the three-time winner. Clark, a floater. No, he's fouled by Lopez.
Man, that ball was going behind the basket even before Lopez touched him. But
so 3 team fouls on each team, and the third foul on Lopez.
Lopez got into foul trouble last game. They should just keep him in there and see what he can do on offense, because if he gets the ball, it typically leads to points. Today they're going to take him out, though, for Whalen. Whalen coming in. And Coach Mullins is visibly upset. I don't know if he even knows what he can do to try and erase this 18-point deficit.
Clark makes the first and the second.
19-point deficit.
41 to 22. Here's Sixby coming down. This game's getting away from the Tigers even more than it has been. Here's Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg on the left side across to Lincoln over to Bartoni. In the middle, Stauffenberg. He makes a 360 move, shoots and scores.
Any momentum is good, and Lander's going to take that momentum into the timeout. And it is 41-24 Worland, 3:37 to go in the third period. We'll be back after this.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
And Worland has the basketball as we resume play here. 3:30 to go in the third period of play. Worland out in front 41-24 as the Tigers have not been very effective in this championship game. Underneath the basket, wide open, laid it up and in.
They're just
That's
giving up
Clark
the baseline.
Again.
That zone defense that they're playing is giving up everything on the baseline. It doesn't matter if they're short, tall, fat, skinny. They can get through the baseline and get underneath the basket way too easily.
Sixby over to Stauffenberg on top of the key. Whistle foul going to be called against Gonzalez. his first personal foul. Big smile on his face.
I'd be smiling too if I was up by almost 20 points in a
really.
championship game.
Stauffenberg out of bounds into Talon Wayland. Down court, whistle, and a foul going to be called on Clark. He ran right over Sixby. First foul on Clark.
Sixby got pushed to the ground, and Clark was like, I didn't do that.
Coming back into the game is the big tall guy, Chase Harris. He's taller than anybody out there.
Very tall.
Yeah. Stauffenberg into Wayland for Lander. Wayland on the right side. In the corner, Stauffenberg for three. Got it. Stauffenberg for three. Well, Lander needs all the spark they can get. 43-37. Now they need a defensive stop. Gonzalez brings the ball down off to Clark on top of the arc. Clark now moves to the left-hand side. Reverses direction, gives it off to Gonzalez. Spins, shoots, and we have a foul called on Lander under the basket. It's against Stauffenberg, and that's his second foul. And at the free throw line is Gonzalez. His first free throw today. He's got 7 points already in the game. And the shot rims off the front, not good. He'll have one more.
2:34 left to go in this third period. And it almost feels like this game's been going on for an hour.
Second shot by Gonzalez is good. 43-27. Inbounds pass to Wayland.
Oh, they got
Wayland
this.
comes down. They've got a 3-on-2 going. Wayland all the way. Stops.
Oh, lucky didn't get a travel there.
Yeah, really. He slid underneath. Bartoni for two. They forgot about Bartoni, and he was all alone under the basket. Nice assist there by Wayland. Down court comes Clark. 44-29. 15-point bulge by the Worland Warriors. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Almost a steal there by Sixby underneath the basket. Layup is good.
That was a clean move. He got all the way into the paint on 2 steps.
Owen Page with it. Half-court pressure now by Worland. Parker Sixby all the way down. Stops at the baseline. Looking for help over to Lincoln. Lincoln on the right side throws up a shot that's off the glass and good. Nice shot by Lincoln. And so far the Tigers are trying to stay, get a little momentum here. 46-31, 15-point lead.
They just need defense, and they're not finding it in any of these players. Everyone looks gassed right now, too.
Gonzalez, far side outside, drives the baseline, puts up the shot, and scores easily. Court Gonzalez now with 10 points. Didn't get any opposition that time. Here's Sixby. Bartoni. Stauffenberg for three. No, not good. Rebound to Worland. Whistle. And Bartoni, I think, is going to get the foul. He does. That's his second. Everyone hit the ground that time. Fifth personal foul on Lander. 5 on Worland. 48-31, the Warriors with the lead. Inbounds to Gonzalez, who's taking it very slow down the court.
They could take this slow for the rest of this quarter. 1 minute to go.
Clark on the far side outside. Near side, Owen Page, shots up and in. Wow.
They're just making it look too easy.
50-31, 19-point lead. Tigers did have it down to 15 there just a few minutes ago. Here's Braden Lincoln under the baseline, throws up the shot. It hits the side of the basket. Worland gets the rebound with 35 seconds to go. Oh, here's Clark all the way for the basket. Oh, my gosh, he was untested. 52-31, 21-point lead. Here's Lincoln down court, 20 seconds to go. Stauffenberg has it now. Stauffenberg, the far side. It's Bartoni. And almost thrown away. Stauffenberg under the basket. He is fouled. And he goes down.
It seems like the Lander Tigers, all they're trying to do is get the ball to Stauffenberg because they know he can at least put the ball up against these bigger players. The rest of this team, and now they bring in Washburn, who's at least tall. Oh, and he's going to replace Stauffenberg. But Stauffenberg has been their main focus on the offensive side because everything else is just not falling for any of these other guys.
And he looks really winded. His face is very red as he comes off the floor to the Lander bench. Worland to take it out, inbounds to Washburn. Outside the arc, stops at the free throw line, gives it to Lincoln.
Ooh.
Lincoln,
He
whistle.
runs into a wall.
Oh, boy. He ran straight into a Worland player, then fell backwards, and traveling called. And with 0.8 of a second left, Worland might get a shot here. I don't know.
You want to talk about strength and conditioning.
Shot is up. No, not good. That's the end of the third period of play. The Worland Warriors have scored 22 points in this period, and they lead 52-31.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Wyoglass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. Wyoglass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. Wyoglass is Lander.
And we're back.
22 points scored by the Warriors, and the Tigers only managed 15, and the margin has become even larger.
That's still their best quarter, 15 points. My goodness.
Washburn has it in the forecourt. Washburn, ball high above his head, pops it over now. We've got Brooklyn John in the game. Underneath Washburn for two. Nice play. Washburn was open, and he scores. The Tigers have Whalen and Washburn, Brooklyn John, Lincoln. There's a shot up and in. Boy, very, very easy by Clark.
I don't think I've seen Lander actually block or get a rebound on defense at all in the last 8 to 10 minutes of gameplay. They're just letting them do everything.
There's a shot from the corner. Woo! In. Good. And that's by
Monroe Black.
The
amount of times we've mispronounced his name, and we apologize to his family. It's not our forte. But Monroe Black, it's Hainito. Yeah,
Hainito. Whistle, personal foul on Worland. Lander will go to the free throw line. 54-35. Worland.
No, they got one more foul until it's 1-1.
Yeah, that was a foul on Lincoln, his second. Inbounds pass, gets away from Clark. Clark on top of the key. Stops, looks at the right side, goes over to Paige Owen, shots up, not good. Rebounded,
as I
say,
by
Monroe.
Earlier.
Long pass down court, knocked out of bounds. Intended for Brooklyn John, yeah. Tigers have it. 6:41 to go in the game. 54-35. It's been all Worland so far. Here's Worland. Worland over to Brooklyn John for three. It's way short. Not good. Rebounded by Clark. Lander led at one point, 13-2. It's been all Worland ever since. On top of the key, Clark has it. Gives it off. That was Gilmore, actually. Gilmore to Clark. Far side now with the ball is Page. Shot's no good. Goes to Lander.
That might be one of the first turnovers Worland's had in quite a while.
Yeah, 6:14 to go in the game, 54-35. Worland en route to their third consecutive Bighorn Basin championship, unless Lander can pull some kind of a miracle finish here. Here's Whalen off to Washburn. Over to Monroe Black. Underneath, Whalen shots partially blocked, rebounded by Clark. Clark on the fast break, 3-on-3 underneath Gonzalez and scores. Gonzalez with 12 now, 56-35.
Worland's
21
giving him a
points.
master class on how to score in the paint.
Yeah, they really do. There's Monroe Black. Whistle, and he's fouled on the floor.
I mean, honestly, the coach for Worland,
Abel.
Yeah, Aaron Abel. He should teach every team how to score and get into the paint, because right now there's nothing that Lander can even do to combat this, and it's starting to take their toll.
Monroe Black misses the free throw. Rebounded by Gilmore. Gilmore off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez down court. 5.5 minutes to go in the game. 56-35, Worland. Oh, here's Clark, left all alone, lays it up and in again. Totally untouched to the basket. Lander brings it back down. There's Brooklyn John, far side outside to Whalen. Near side, Washburn. Washburn holding the ball. There's the pass over to Monroe Black. Now to Wayland. Lincoln has it. Monroe Black now. 5 minutes to go in the game. Off
and he stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds. Washburn stepped out.
It's not that he got the ball out of bounds. It's that he knowingly stepped out of bounds and came back inbounds and got the ball within 3 seconds.
Which you can't do.
No, you cannot.
5:02 to go in the game. 58-35. Worland with the lead. Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez brings the ball down the court on top of the key. Near side goes to Owen Page. Page in the middle in the lane. Out to Harris. Harris to Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the lane. Shots
nice
blocked. Blocked by the Tigers. Down court, 2-on-2. Underneath, Washburn in the lane. Shoots and no, it doesn't go in.
Again, Washburn's third missed layup.
Here's Clark, and he doesn't miss his. Carter Clark, 60-35.
Nice move there by Whalen. And finishes it. Oh, I thought that was going to bounce in.
4 minutes, 16 seconds to go. Worland just running away with this one. Yeah. 60-35.
Lander's going to have the same drive home we have. Theirs just going to be a little bit more sad than ours.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Gonzalez. Shot fouled by Stauffenberg.
You know, all things considered, Ernie, I think we've had a fun weekend. We got to call Thermopolis. We got to call Wyoming Indian. We got to call Lander.
Grable.
We got to call, we've
Worland,
gotten to call a lot of teams here today. And just gives us more exposure for whenever we go to regionals and state. We've seen these teams now.
Gonzalez misses the free throw. One of the only things he's missed today. He'll get a second one, and now we're starting to see subs come in for both teams. Lander down by 25 points, 60-35.
I've got a score update. St. Stephen's boys actually been doing really well since they played Wyoming Indian a couple weeks ago. Lost to Glen Rock 55-49. Mr. Turcato, the AD, says that they just couldn't finish the game and they couldn't rebound. So practices are going to get tougher.
All right, well, we know about that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Here's Brooklyn John. Brooklyn John gives it off to Monroe Black. Monroe Black off.
Oh, almost a double dribble there.
Yeah, almost. It goes to Peyton Bell. Back to Monroe Black. Brooklyn John has it now. John drives in the paint, turns around, shoots, scores. Brooklyn John with his first 2 points of the game, 61-37. Down court. Here comes Swalstead.
I got
Goes
another
to Cabarello. What's that?
I got another score update while they're wasting clock here. Riverton up 9 on Cody. The boys entering the fourth quarter as Riverton is playing at home for the first time in a long time. They've had a lot of games canceled as well.
Cabrello for the basket. Monroe Black for no, he misses the layup. 3 minutes to go in the game, 63-37. Worland will be your Bighorn Basin tournament champions, as if there was any doubt about that since the second quarter.
One more score update. I got NFL scores here for those that care, as Lander almost gets the rebound there. They're going to have a held ball. 49ers beat the Seahawks 41-23. Brock Purdy, the Iowa State rookie, is 6-0 in his first 6 starts and broke Joe Montana's passing record for a playoff game. That's pretty insane.
Wow, here we go. Mason Decker takes the ball in to Brody Thiel. We haven't seen Thiel since the first quarter. Here we go. Swalstead off on the near side to Cabarello. Cabarello underneath, all alone, shots up, oh, not good. Gets his own rebound and scores an and one. Brody Thiel.
Not a lot the Lander could do there except just try and get the rebound.
Here comes the old-fashioned three-point play, fouled by Keaton Iron Eyes. Thiel at the free throw line, 2.5 minutes to go, makes it. 66-37. Wow.
No one saw this coming.
No. Here's Monroe Black off to Iron Eyes. Iron Eyes on top of the key over to Washburn. Washburn back to Brooklyn John. Here we go, Monroe Black with it. Monroe Black is fouled on his way to the basket. 2 minutes to go. 66-37 Worland. Monroe Black at the free throw line for the, I keep wanting to say Cowboys, but this isn't the Wyoming game, for the Tigers.
There's a lot of Wyoming Cowboys stuff around us.
Yeah. He's got it. 3 points now for Monroe Black. Washburn coming out of the game for the Tigers. Next shot is up, and this one's short. Rebounded by Tiger Kidgel for Worland. Tiger Kidgel down court to Caballero. Far side it goes to Kidgel. Kidgel on top of the key now to Decker. Oh, and he almost lost the handle on the ball. Whistle, and they're going to call a foul on Parker Sixby. They could have called a travel, too.
I was about to say it was a travel before it was a foul, but... And I even see Worland fans getting up out of here early. They want to get that drive home started just beforehand.
Mason Decker at the free throw line for Worland. And no, not good. Rebounded by the Warriors. Minute 45 to go in the game. There's Swalstead. Hands it off. Decker on top of the key. Ball stolen away by Brooklyn John. Lays it up and got it. Brooklyn John with his 4th point of the game. And it's 66-40. Tigers have narrowed it to 26 points. Here's Swalstead. Swalstead, minute 19 to go.
If I were them, I'd just run out the clock.
Well, it appears that's what they're doing. Here we go, down court. Calabrero off to Swalstead on top of the key, minute 5 to go. Yeah, here we go, back over to Swalstead. Swalstead finds a lane to the basket underneath, shots up and no, not good. Rebound, Powell or Worland, and we have a foul on Lander under the basket, of course.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say Powell as well, because not only are we in Powell, but everything's orange around us, including the Worland jerseys.
Iron Eyes gets the foul. At the free throw line is Kidgel. His first trip to the charity stripe. Oh, hits the front of the rim, bounces off, not
almost
good.
Air ball.
Yeah. Okay, Kidgel for his second attempt at a point here. 52 seconds to go. And he misses both of them and gets his own rebound. Pops it on the top to Swalstead. 45 seconds to go. Worland can run the clock out here unless Lander's defense stiffens. Swalstead on top of the arc. Now he moves to the left. Now he changes direction. Dribbles right through the lane. 30 seconds to go. We haven't seen anything like that for a while. As it's kind of a modified, what did we call that?
Pick and roll almost?
Yeah, something like that. Here's Swalstead, drives into the basket, puts up the shot, not good. And the rebound goes to Worland. Worland, Kidgel has it. 10 seconds to go in the game. And there's a steal underneath the basket by Bell for 2 and 1. Peyton Bell gets a basket and draws the foul with 3 seconds to go. And the basket is good, and the foul's on Swalstead, his third.
I have a feeling we're going to have a quick post-game show, folks. I don't know if Coach Mullins is going to want to talk, let alone talk very much. So
yeah, here's the shot by Bell, and he gets it. 3 points in the game, 3.6 seconds to go. Worland's just going to hold it. That's the ball game. The final score, the Lander Tigers 43 and the Worland Warriors 66.
We'll be right back with our Click It or Ticket post-game show and head on home.
Take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by YDOT.
Here with the Click It or Ticket post-game show, and we're going to watch Worland get their third straight Bighorn Basin Shootout Tournament trophy. Lander fans not feeling it right now. They're heading home.
So, Coach Aaron Abel with the Worland Warriors, they can chisel their name on that trophy one more time, 3 years in a row for the Worland Warriors. Our Click It and Ticket post-game show begins now.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the trophy earlier. I was taking a picture of it and realized that Worland didn't actually etch their name in it last year, so at least they have some extra time to do that now that they have it. And it was just strictly a dominant game from the get-go, and Worland was down 13-2 early, and after that it was no Lander scoring for almost 10 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, it was all Worland. They just raced. Matter of fact, the Tigers only scored 3 points in the second quarter to 16 for Worland. We got 15 in the third quarter to 22 and 12 in the fourth quarter to 14. So the Warriors outscored the Tigers on every quarter and win this one going away. Lander on our Click It or Ticket post-game show. Here's the scoring for the Tigers. Stauffenberg had 11. The only player in double figures, Caleb Bartoni, had 7. 5 points for Parker Sixby. 4 points for Braden Lincoln, Bennett Washburn, and Brooklyn John. 3 points for Monroe Black. 3 points for Peyton Bell. 2 points for Abe Lopez.
Wow, that is probably the most startling sight of the whole weekend, honestly. I mean, you could point at any game and say, well, this quarter was pretty crazy or this player was pretty crazy, but Abe Lopez, by far one of the leading scorers of any team in this entire tournament, to only end up with 2 points. That just shows great dominance on defense by Worland, and it kind of shows poor game planning by Lander. I'm sure they had ideas for Lopez in this game, just nothing came through.
Yeah. For the Worland Warriors, 2 players with 14, Owen Page and Court Gonzalez. Court Gonzalez had 13. Carter Clark had 14. So Clark and Owen Page with 14. Gonzalez with 13. Then we had 6 points by Swalstead, 5 points each by Landon Gilmore and Bobby Brody Thiel, and then 5 points by Landon Gilmore. That was it.
Yeah, we'll do it real quick here. Players of the game, even though this game was not really in their wheelhouse, we're going to go Papa Murphy's player of the game's got to be Brennan Stauffenberg. He had the most points. The offense was non-existent when Brennan Stauffenberg was on the bench. He'll be our Papa Murphy's player of the game, well-deserving. I think it would be Bartoni with 7 points, and not only that, Bartoni has found ways all weekend to get open under the basket, to get open on the three-point line, to get open and get fouled, and he's had quite a few good games in a row. I think he deserves to be our Gatorade player of the game. I don't think we'll be able to talk to any of them. I'm wondering if Coach Mullins even wants to come up here. I don't think we should actually ask him to. I think he's probably wanting to get home just like the rest of us.
Yeah, they want to get in the bus and get home and get out of here and then start again on Monday.
Yep. Practice is going to be rough on Monday, I could tell you that much. And you and I, we're going to be heading back to Riverton here shortly. Have to stop in Worland ourselves. We can do a little congratulatory dinner in Worland. But we appreciate everyone for tuning in on WYO Today's YouTube page, tuning in on 93.1 KFCW, and tuning in general all weekend, whether it was for Wyoming Indian or Thermopolis, Lander, if it was for our girls' games out in Thermopolis with Wind River or the Lady Chiefs or the Lady Bobcats. We appreciate you tuning in. And if you missed any of the action all weekend, you can go to WYO Today's YouTube page, and they will all be there, ready to watch, ready to show you what these teams are made out of heading into this second half of the season here.
Absolutely, and that worlandry by Worland stopped the Lander Tigers' 7-game winning streak. So Lander on the season now goes to 7-3, and Worland goes to 8-3 on the season. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here on the Click It or Ticket post-game show. My thanks to Shawn O'Brate, and a special thanks to Montana O'Brate for getting dinner for lunch actually for us. Yeah, that was great. She made a run for us. And back at the studio, thanks always to Kirk Baxter, the music Breakfast with Baxter host on KVOW. Thank you very much, Kirk. Well, without further ado, this is Ernie Over wishing you a pleasant good evening. And that's it from Powell, and we'll be back with regular season basketball starting this next week.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.